Hello everybody, my name is Emily. I am started from 0.00. Today we're going to talk about what that means. So to start us off, my name is Emily. I graduated from college and now I don't know what I want to do with my life. I am also at a point where I am very low on savings. I am struggling paycheck to paycheck. I'm just not having the best of time out here in the money world. However, I do want to make a little disclaimer. I am in a very wonderful position. I am engaged. I have a wonderful fiance who helps me out. I live with him. I have my parents who have given me money here and there. And then, I've just really been able to get by, but scraping the barrel. So what that means is, let's just go into my background. I got out of college and I had a very good savings account. I was probably around $8,000. Stayed with my parents for about a year. Then I wanted to go ahead and move out. I had a good job, so things were looking in a position where I could move out and just be just fine. So I moved out. However, I know that I didn't want to go into a lot of debt when I was moving out. So the couch that you see that is part of the den is something that I bought. I've got the end tables and the coffee table here with me. And I also bought my mattress and bed frame outright when I moved into my apartment. So I didn't really go into a lot of debt with getting things for the apartment. So sorry about my cat. Which really was good because I didn't have to worry about making payments on anything. However, I did drain a whole lot of my savings. I mean, looking back on it, I probably would have bought the couch new, but looked secondhand for the end tables and coffee tables. I probably would have looked around secondhand for a little bit more items because I did buy a good amount of things new and I wish that I wouldn't have. But that is the past. And so with that, I drained my savings. About when my lease was up is when my fiance and I decided to live together. And I came down here, and I'm very thankful that I did because I was at a point where I was gonna be on the struggle bus to pay some of my next rent here in the future. I was very much on the struggle bus where I probably wouldn't be able to do my bills that much. I'd be asking my parents for more money, etc., etc. So I'm really kind of happy that I ended up in this position with my fiance, being able to move out of that apartment and be kind of here and be able to regrow. When I moved down here, it was about June. I left my job that was 45 minutes away from here, and I was also working second shift, so I wasn't getting home until 2 in the morning. And that was just putting a lot of stress on myself. And it really wasn't feasible for me to continue going. However, I didn't realize how tough this current job market is. I thought that I would, start deciding to leave my job and really go into a place where I could find a job pretty easily. I mean, that's what happened 2 years before when I found myself at that position. I didn't find anything within that time. And I've put in over probably 50 job applications for, kind of roles associated with that role. So that was kind of heart-wrenching. So I decided to start working part-time. I started here a little bit ago at a retail store, and I'm working part-time. And one thing that it's taught me is that I like communicating with people. I really wasn't in a communication kind of role when I was at my last position. So, we're pretty happy about that. We're learning new things along the way. I ended up without a job for probably 3 months. Again, I'm in that very great position where I've got just a wonderful family, a wonderful fiance who's going to be my family. I'm so grateful for everything that's come into my life. However, I want to be able to do things on my own. I want to be able to pay my own bills. I want to be able to go and buy a new shirt if I need to. We are working with what we are given. And I spent a lot of time kind of really sad about the job position that I was looking into. Um, it's not what I'm passionate about. So a few weeks ago, my fiance was like, "So what are you going to be passionate about? You know, like what is there going to be?" And I've decided to start looking into jobs that I would really love. I really love animals. I really love easy access to healthcare. So I love those kind of positions. So I'm looking at clinics and I'm looking at shelters in my area. And I am fortunate to be in this position. I am fortunate that my fiance has the position to be able to help us both out while I'm kind of taking this time to discover where I'm going to grow in life. But at one point when I was jobless, I had no savings, had very little income coming in. And if there was income coming in, it was from selling stuff on Facebook, and that was mostly my fiance doing the work. And he would kind of share with me so we could at least get my bills paid. Or it'd be my parents, helping me out here and there. I feel really guilty that I had to go through that. I still feel guilty. I talk to my fiance all the time, like, "Hey, I wish you wouldn't have to do this. I'm really sorry." And that's just the reality of where I'm at. So, yeah, I was able to go to a new bank and open up accounts. Because the previous bank that I had, they had fees associated with their checking accounts. I wasn't meeting anywhere near the threshold that I needed to be for those accounts to be waived. So I moved banks. I opened up a checking account with probably $100. And then a few weeks later, I graciously was given some money from my parents. And I was able to make a savings account and be able to put $25 into there. So there we are with that. Flash forward about a month, here we are at the retail job that I have. I have set up my check to where 50% goes into an account that I call bill pay, and that's just a checking account. That's an account that pretty much all of my bills are coming from. Most of my bills are coming from. Maybe a few bills out of a different checking account here and there, such as like getting my license renewed and things like that. And then I have a savings account. So I set up things in that kind of perfect world mindset. And yeah, so I worked on a budget with my fiance. If you are living with anybody or you are in any of these situations where you have another person that is helping you out, blah, 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 include them in a discussion. That really, really helped me and him, was actually being able to sit down and have that open and honest conversation of, "Hey, this is what I spend money on, and how can we help each other out?" So we made a budget. We made a budget associated with my name, his name, and then we created a combination of a household budget. And we theoretically made that to where I'd be at $19 an hour. I am working retail in Northeast Ohio. We don't make $19 an hour retail here. So I am below that threshold. And, I'm earning money, but a lot of it is going towards the bills, or a lot of it is going towards, like, oh, we need this one thing for our animals. If you saw at the beginning of the video, I had my cat obsessed with me. So a lot of the money that I'm earning is kind of just being heaved out right away. I got paid on Wednesday. I had a car payment and another bill come out. And that basically took up my entire check. I had a few dollars to be able to go and buy the pants that I'm wearing because I have another job interview today. And I was able to find shoes at a store in my local mall for $4. They were very, very clearance. These were the last pair they had in the store. Luckily, my size. So that's what I have done with my paycheck this week. But what you're here on the journey with is to discover how I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I have great financial strides made for upcoming things. However, they are set for a wage that I don't currently make. I am looking for a secondary role. So staying at this retail store. I am ideally looking for places full time as well. But because I've decided to strive towards going towards passions, I'm also looking at full time or have part time roles as well and be able to move my way up eventually at some time in the future. Because I want to be in somewhere that's sustainable for me. And it all went towards bills. We love that. And that was also help with my fiance for those bills too, so that's kind of sad. If there's anything I've learned about this time, kind of being away from jobs, it's that you are going to get thrown curveballs all the time. We had to have a vet appointment for one of our dogs that ate into money that we weren't expecting. I had a hole in my tire. Luckily, we know people, but in a situation where I wouldn't have known somebody, I would have had to pay out of pocket for that or put it on a charge card. I have put a lot on my credit card, so I am in not like a crazy amount of credit card debt, but for me, it's a crazy amount of credit card debt. I'm around $4,000, and I'm striving towards paying that off as fast as I can. It's hard work. This isn't easy. I've made a lot of sacrifices. I have been shopping at secondhand stores, which honestly I love. There's so much waste going into firsthand clothes, so shop secondhand if you can. I have been relying on my free groups on Facebook for just kind of odds and ends that I'm looking for. I have one of my local thrift stores has a big craft section, and I was able to get some stuff for, I think, $5. I paid for everything that I needed for a craft project. People in my free groups post curb alerts. So as gross as it may sound, sometimes I'm going to the curb and getting something that I may need or something that I can find useful. So why are we here? We are here because eventually I want to get into a place where I can cash budget. We are here because I'm nowhere near the place where I can really set aside time or money to do a cash budget. We are in a place so that I can kind of stay accountable for my actions with, people watching. And also I was really excited to film, so that's cool. I just feel like there are a lot of channels out there that show you where they are in an established way, but nobody's really shown a lot of this ground up experience. So here I am. So started from 0.00. It's a little misleading. I did have a little bit going into opening up my new accounts and really striving to make the money that I'm getting. So a little bit of an exaggeration. So sorry if you were looking for somebody who had absolutely $0. But yeah, I just want you guys to come along for the ride and be able to see how I kind of budget stuff, living paycheck to paycheck, being in a situation where I can't afford anything that I want to do. I love to shop. And I love to go to a coffee shop a lot. I can't afford those things. Sometimes my fiance will treat me to, something like that. It's not as glamorous as you would think. I mean, honestly, who would even think this is glamorous? I'm climbing out of a hole. It's hard work. Very, very hard work. So if you're interested, come along for the ride. We'll be hanging out in the den. I actually refer to this as the she den because I was kind of able to come in here and make it my own. I've got artwork that I've done around, and I've got my living room furniture that was able to be moved in here, and a very lovely piece of furniture that was my grandmother's. So this is my she den. I hope to see you soon.